Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to Movies and a Mug. Only this week, there's no mug, and we're only kind of tangentially talking about a movie. You may remember that last week, I announced that I, myself, am in an upcoming movie. So, let's talk about it. So about 1 to 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to do some more, actual acting. Stop just kind of doing some presentery things, doing some creative things. I really wanted to go full force and try and make something happen. And I'm not gonna lie, that's where this whole kind of review movies whilst putting on makeup thing kind of came from. I decided I really want to be in one. So I should probably surround myself with film, start to really more seriously familiarize myself with the way film actors carry themselves, with how to look natural on camera, how to, act. I didn't go to drama school, I have a degree in politics and a master's degree in security. I was never trained in how to be an actor. And unfortunately, in the UK, there is kind of a big thing about going to drama school, and that was never going to be my story. I'm from a working class family. Drama school really wasn't seen as something that was financially viable for me, and as sad as that is, that's a reality for a lot of people. And I know I'm not the only person who wanted to be a creative, who, looked at it and thought, well, the government's defunded everything. There's no way I'm gonna survive doing what? Working at a coffee shop and going to auditions on the side. No, I needed something else. I needed something more substantive, so I built a career. But in the back of my mind, I was constantly I really want to be doing this other thing. This other thing is such a passion of mine, I really want to be pursuing it. And so I decided to start this series to kind of help me stay focused, to help me keep my dream close by. So even when I'm busy, even when I'm, have thousands of meetings at work and a load of shit to do, I still keep coming back to it. A lot of my content has been about rom-coms. And for some reason, and I must have been right because it happened, I just thought they were a bit more accessible than, just going straight in an action movie. I thought, I'll probably have a better chance at least getting my first couple of actual film credits, if I start off as the best friend in a rom-com. And my lovely, lovely agent came to me with a tape, and the tape was for a rom-com. Now, the rom-com changed titles between shooting and release, and is now called Meet You in Scotland. And I'm gonna put a clip from the trailer in right now.
What do you know about Liz Harvey?
I know she's one of the most famous novelists in the world, and her real identity is a mystery.
She's being recognized at the Written Word Awards in Scotland, and now suddenly she's coming in.
Looks like you got your hands full this morning, Jen.
Today's a big day, Al. Oh,
You're a writer?
poet. Sort of.
There are no more good poets.
James Macduff is an excellent poet.
Who?
Mr. Miller and Liz Harvey had food poisoning. Liz is supposed to be on her way to Scotland, and Mr. Miller is saying you need to go instead. I need to speak with Liz Harvey.
She's out on a hike.
A hike?
Are you going to the Written Word Awards as well?
Presenting this year.
I've seen a land where the wind urges you to explore and the rain washes away your fears. And it's within this land that I found him. Well, that was honest. That was me.
So, fun fact, when I filmed my audition for this film, I was actually homeless. You may remember from a few months ago that I was kind of in between places whilst I was buying my apartment, and I was crashing at a friend's house. I got this tape in. I was kind of scrambling to get it done. The audio quality was terrible. So I did a couple of rounds of auditions and then got selected for the role of Tom. Now, I already played you a little bit of the trailer, so I'm gonna give you a brief overview of the movie, a little synopsis, if you will. Though the movie is produced by Reel One, who they just make rom-coms. That's what they do. They do it well. They make loads of Christmas movies. They've got one that looks right up my alley. It's all about making delicious looking food. It's like food porn plus a rom-com. love that for them. And they go out on American television networks and also some places in the UK like Channel 5, BBC America, stuff like that. And the movie is about a struggling writer named Jen who works at a publishing company where my character is also employed, and I play Jen's best friend. And the story is Jen going from New York to Scotland on a business trip, realizing that even though she was a busy businesswoman, because they're always busy businesswomen, you could still make time for love. And if that isn't the plot of a rom-com, bitch, I don't know what is. I had such a fun time shooting this movie. Everyone on set and all of the other actors and the production staff were just so lovely. A couple of really interesting things that I think maybe, I don't know, quite interesting to share just in case you're interested in acting in any shape, way or form. I think the thing that strikes me the most is how quiet it is. Because when you're watching a movie, the people are talking at a considerable volume that you can understand, even when it's a softly spoken scene. But when you're actually filming it, you can't be all that loud because it takes you out of the kind of realism that is a scene. You can't just be like you can if you're Angela Bassett, but if you're any other normal actor, you can't just be fucking projecting at that level because it makes you seem like you're just in a monologue. And when there are other people, you need to keep the realism of a conversation. And sometimes you might even think, oh my God, like I'm having this really intimate conversation and I'm talking to her, and because the scene, it needs me to be quite small at this moment, I'm not even sure if the camera's going to pick it up. Can you actually hear what I'm saying? Can you be whispering? I'm talking really quietly. And that is not your job to fix. That you just have to rely on the sound people, and you just have to kind of put your trust in their hands. If they need you to do something different, they will tell you. Do not go onto set and start trying to project all your lines because it's just not going to work. Do what comes natural in the space. The director's there to direct you, and you just kind of have to hope that you don't suck. So everything was filmed. It was all really good. I had a great time. Then I was informed that there would be a premiere screening of it. It was going to be played in the cinema and it was going to be really, really cute. I take a day off work. I get all ready. The premiere was going to be in Edinburgh, where the production company was and where a lot of it was filmed. Only problem is I live in London. It's a 4.5 hour train ride on a good day. Unfortunately, when I went, it was not a good day. I got caught in flooding, which, thanks global warming. Essentially, there was a flood between Newcastle and Edinburgh, which meant that it wiped out a portion of the track. So the last hour and a half of my train journey, I was stuck. And the screening was at 2 p.m. I got up at 4 a.m. to get to the train station for 6:15 to get the train up so I could go check into my hotel, get changed, XYZ, then go straight to the screening. I didn't get there until around 7:30 p.m. I was stuck there for 2.5 hours before I could get on a bus to go from Newcastle to Edinburgh, which was around a 3+ hour trip. So I unfortunately ended up missing the screening of my first movie, but I was so determined. I at least wanted to go and say hi to the production staff, to the team that I worked with on this, because it was important to me. So I made it all the way there. I survived the fucking coach. The coach was, oh my fucking God. There was no temperature control on this coach. So they would open the roof, it would get freezing and wet, then they'd close it, and then it would get hot as fuck. And there was no in between, and there was a baby crying, and it was a whole fucking thing. Finally get there, get to my hotel, go meet the guys, they're all at a pub. I walk in, and everybody's like, ah! I get a round of applause, which is lovely. I think because they knew how fucking long it took me to get there and how much I'd been fucking hustling to make my way to Edinburgh that day. And I still haven't seen the movie. The feedback was that the studio really liked it and that they'd even commissioned 2 additional movies from the production company. Obviously, I have nothing to do with those other movies. It's just a sign that Reel One liked what we made, and so they will make other things with them. So went, had a couple of drinks, went back to my hotel, watched NCIS and Law and Order, because every time I'm in a hotel, I have to watch NCIS and Law and Order. Law and Order is on the television, and there's some gay shit happening. Look. You see? Oh, homosexual erotic murder. Oh. Oh. Come on, suit daddy. Oh yeah, you better go over, you better ignore that call from your wife. Oh no, oh. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit in my feelings. I was a little bit melancholia because I really did want to see the movie, you know, in a cinema. I really did want to, you know, peek myself on a big screen. Not only was the train getting into Newcastle delayed, but then I had to wait over 2.5 hours to get on a bus to take a 3-hour journey to Edinburgh, to then get an Uber and take another 20-minute journey to my hotel, to then have to get another fucking Uber to take another 20-minute journey just to go see the guys that I made the film with, because the screening was way over by the time I got here. I was really, really sad because I really wanted to see the movie, you know, I really wanted to A, see it for the first time, and B, see it in a fucking cinema, but didn't happen, unfortunately. Oh well. Shit happens. Still, seeing them all in the bar was really nice. And then after that, it was time to head back, which was just as much as an ordeal as getting there. So the day after, I was ready to come back to London, and wouldn't you know it, my train gets cancelled. And there's this weird thing in the UK where certain trains are owned by certain companies, and you can only get on a train if you have a ticket from that specific company. And my ticket apparently wasn't with the same people going as it was coming back. I don't know why. And the company who operate the train that got cancelled didn't see the need to reach out to the other company who operate very frequently in the area and say, hey, can the people who have a ticket for my train get on your train? Like they didn't want to do that bullshit. Anyway, that meant that I had to wait until 3 o'clock. Okay, great. So I'm there at 11:30, have to wait at the station until 3 o'clock. I'd already checked out of my hotel, so I couldn't just go back. So I wait around the fucking train station for several hours, get onto the train, and then they tell me that this train that they put me on is the long train. And whereas it usually takes 4.5 hours to get from Edinburgh to London, the train that I was on was gonna take over 6 hours. So that kind of sucked. But anywho, travel fucking nightmare aside, now I'm just seeing what's next. I kind of have my heart set on either something episodic, you know, maybe like something on a Netflix show or something like that, or maybe something that just has a little bit of to it, you know? I feel like I'm in really good shape at the moment, so I would kind of maybe like to do something with a topless scene in it, maybe something where I'm like a love interest, you know, something a little bit fun, something a little bit spicy. So I guess all of that to say, I had a great time filming that movie, and if possible, if you have something to go to, like a screening or whatever, try to travel the day before so you're not fucking shanghaied the day of. I guess it's a valuable lesson, like, shit happens, so try and go even earlier, even if it does mean that, you know, extra expense will be incurred because you're going to be there for a night longer, something like that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I know I told you we'd be doing Spice World the movie, but as you could probably tell, I had a little bit of an ordeal this week, so we'll be back with some more movies and unload next week. And until then, stay safe and kisses from England. Bye guys.